I got a feeling that you got me covered too. I got you covered. I got you covered.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? I'm not sure if a lot of people are going to be on, but I decided to come on kind of unannounced and kind of was rolling with the punches for a minute. I just wanted to tell you all just a quick note. I was able to talk to Scott today, and he just said to me when I told him about the fact that I've got you covered in the front, and I've got um, I'm so proud to be me on the way out, and just a snippet of that I've uploaded. So proud of being me, and um, that he was thrilled to death of the album that I'm going to be able to send to him that Alfonso was able to do. He wanted to for me to make sure that I send a big thank you to all of you. Um, his exact words were, "Oh my goodness, somebody's going to hear this music other than me." Um, I said to him, I hope you don't mind me sharing it. He goes, "No, please do, please do. You have full permission to do it," which I was thrilled to death. He was amazed that I even was able to find the record with the recordings. Sorry about that. The recordings of back in 1968. It was funny because he said to me, I the song that says "Never Too Late to Do Your Thing." Hi, Brazy girl. Um, um, he said to me, he goes, "Are you?" He said, "I didn't really ever like that song," which I didn't realize he didn't. But he said, "I've never really liked it." Well, I said, "Well, it's the one that's the most on the YouTubes." So he just wanted to let me just pass on the message to everybody that he was so thankful that you all got to listen to the songs, and we'll be adding more to them to the list of his songs that I have for you all to enjoy. And he just said, "I am so thankful that somebody else, I, Miss Dragon, that somebody else is going to listen to the songs other than me." He was just, I can't tell you, I think I made his year. No, I'm not tired tonight, Samantha. I'm not. Um, so, um, um, so he was just absolutely, just, I think I made his total year that he has like somebody else is going to hear my songs. Somebody's going to hear my music. He was just overjoyed. So I'm so glad. I said, and we have a shirt coming out in our merch store that it's going to have that Fonzo did. Um, that it's going to have the we got you covered with Scott Thompson logo on it. So I'm excited about that for y'all to those that want to do it. Um, so I'm excited for that to have happen. But I just wanted you to know, I had to hop on real quick. I was on My Other's Keeper, and I just had to tell you, I talked to Scott tonight. Called we got to call the center he's at, the nursing home he's at, and then they've got to give him the message, and he has to just tell Google to call so and so, so he can't use his hands. And they got the message, and he called like back in like 5 minutes, and I said, "Can't wait." What was really cool was there's a song that Scott did called, and I will upload it, called "Warmer in the Rain." And he said to my mom, which I did not know, he said, "That song was made for you." Because whenever you would come over to my house, he said, when I was, especially in those 20 years, in the 20s, he said, I may have been down. He said, "You were just this ball of sunshine." And he said, "You always made me feel better." And you always kind of made me smile, and that kind of brought a tear to my eye. Um, and I said, "Well, I know that Got You Covered wasn't written for me," but he said, "No, but that's your song." And he said it was interesting. I said, "Well, how did you write Proud of Being Me?" And he said, "I wrote that song in protest because everybody was telling me, hi Jason, everybody was telling me kind of, you know, I shouldn't be proud of who I am." And he said, "I wrote that song out of just total protest." And then he said, "I just loved it so much that I adopted it to my own." And he said, "I was just proud of being me." And he said everybody started asking for it, and he was just in he said, "You have made my year, knowing that if I leave this world, somebody's gonna hear my music. It's not gonna be only me listening to it. Somebody's gonna hear it." And I thought, isn't that pretty neat that that's something, we all are in this life, and it's like we want to leave our mark somehow a little bit, that we've been here. And so he was over the moon that people were listening to his music and they were actually liking it, and that songs that he had written that he now can no longer play were going to get heard and people were going to get inspired by it. So I just thought I wanted to get on real quick while I had all the equipment up and running so I could tell you about that. And well, I got this in front of me. I'll show you this. I don't know if Tommy's coming on a little bit or not. I'm not going to be on long. Oh, I have Win coming up tonight if anybody's interested. Right, this is kind of what I was talking about yesterday, but we were in the car and I couldn't show you. This is the first cupcake I did. And what I didn't like about it was, if you can see that this ruffle part, let Mocha play with it. This ruffle part here kind of got lost in the cupcake. It all looked like one big cupcake. Didn't like it. I made one for Kristen that was a little bit better, but then this is now the final cupcake. This one. So when somebody has a birthday, I'm going to play Scott's song, and um, raise the cupcake to them. So this is the final one. No sound? Can you all hear me? Let me see. I can hear myself. Can somebody hear me other than Press says he can't hear me? Jason or somebody, can I have a 5x5? Oh, okay. That's okay. I'm just like, everybody can hear me. Hi, Debbie. So anyway, this is now the cupcake that everybody loved that is now going to be in the fourth wall store. And I like it because you can see the actual ruffles. What it does by having this, okay, is it gives us the ability to make these ahead of time. Okay. So, like, let me just pull out examples so you can understand it. And I'm probably going to do another live on this. These two cupcake topper things, right? They're this if I do this one, right? It's pretty much the same. It's not going to be too much different. For instance, like this. You can't really tell that these are different, right? So I could do 10 of these and say there's 10 of these available, the tops of them, and they're pretty much the same. You can't really tell the difference. However, keep hitting that. However, these were done with all the same skein, and they're left. I have these ones that are left over that they're all done with the same, but do you see the difference? Okay. All leftover skeins. They're scrap yarn skeins that I would never, but do you see the difference in how different they look? Each one is so different. This one is different than this, right? This, it doesn't even look like it's the same skein. This one's different than this. So these ones will have to go up one and done. When they're gone, they're no longer available. This one, I don't have that. Yeah, I do. Give me a minute. This one came from this skein, but when I do the next cake topper, it's going to look different because of where this is sitting. These two here look to Hi Crochet Cabin. These two here look totally different. They're done with the same skein. They're left over. I can't do much with the skein. They're totally different. So I would have to put each one up separately because they're so different. Maybe one wants more orange in it, one wants more of this in it. But ones like these two, I could make 10 and be the same. I could make these and be put 10 up and there's not much difference. But then these other ones are going to be scrap yarn toppers. And they're literally going to be put up in the merch store and they're going to be one and done. Um, and I'll have to take individual pictures of those. Right? So they're going to go up. I've got boxes to do them. We're going to sell them for $21.95 plus shipping. It's like this one here, right? I've had this for like 5 years. I can't really do much for it. But I can do this, right? And put this in the cupcake toppers and then be able to put a couple of these up. Hi Misha. Put a couple of these up and then people can have them. So that's the way that it's going to do. We're going to do ones that are pretty much standard, that like those two that I showed you. They're going to look the same. But then there's going to be like scrap yarn ones. Like I did this one for Miss Reese. They'll be sent out. Right? This one's for Miss Reese. So people can choose the tops and then tell me what color they want. And we're ordering, they're actually going to get shipped. There are little labels for the bottom that say Blessed to Crochet. So this one's for Reese. This one's for Tommy. These are going to get sent just so that they can wish their content creator or their audience happy birthday. This one is for Chow, right? And this one's for Spanx. But you can see the tops of these, unless you're an eagle eye, you can't probably tell the difference. So if it's a kind of a yarn like this that's like sprinkly, I'm going to make 10 and say I've got a 10 quantity. But some of these other ones that are so different, I'm going to put one, and then once they're gone, they're gone. But these would be great for celebration. Like I know if I do this one, depending on how it looks, it may be, and I've got some others over there too that are just, but it may that when I put them together, it may not look too bad. I mean, they may look all identical, but they may not. But like I said, these three are so different that how could I put them up as one unit? I couldn't. And if I choose the bottom, then it limits people to choose the top. Like this one, you could use a brick red, you could use a darker green, you could use a blue, or you can use a yellow. You know? So in this one, you could do the same thing, but you couldn't put this up and say this was the same thing because they're so different. So these will be scrap yarn, and then there'll be ones that, like I've done for everything else, it's just standard. Um, and it's okay, Lydia. So those are the cupcakes, and then because I have the soap caddies up there, and see if I can pull it up. Um, do, 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 do. This is the album cover that's going up for Scott that I just got back. So this one is going, hi Tuber Chat. This is going up for, and somebody put up Tuber Chat's link for me, please? Um, this is the one that's going on the merch store. We got you covered because it's what we do. We've got each other covered, don't we? We've got each other covered. So this is going to go on a shirt, and then on the back is going to be our logo with "Stay Connected." Um, and then I'm also going to be adding right these. Now I've only gotten one done. I was going to get two done today. It didn't happen. I'm going to be adding these, and these are infant crocheted booties. So I'm going to be adding these as a set with scratch mitts on the fourth wall store. So if you're thinking about going out and maybe getting a baby gift and so forth, think about shopping with a small business, but also um, doing something that you can give to somebody that they can, their child can wear and their child can keep and then pass on to their child when they have a baby. So these are little newborn little booties. Aren't they cute? I only got one. I thought I was going to get two done. And I can make them for, we can make them for newborns and then 3 to 6 months. But they are so cute for them. They adorable. So since the merch store will allow us to put up stuff that we make and ship, then we're going to do it. And then I found, I think I can grab it. I found a 6x6 box so we can put the cupcakes in when we ship them, and put a little note in there to wish birthday. And, if you think about it, hi, Don, if you think about it, y'all, listen, we're not doing floppy. I love floppy, but floppy I want to take and throw across the room. I love it. I love what it represents. But it was not the easiest thing today. Hi, Anthony J. It wasn't the easiest one to do. These ones are pretty easy where I'm not sitting there going, I want to tear out my hair a little bit. But these are something that whether it's an anniversary or it's a birthday or you just want to say to somebody, hey, something to celebrate. This can be in itself, a celebration. What do we do when we have a birthday? We have a cupcake or we have cake. We do something to celebrate. So this becomes a celebration in its sense, and it'll be really cool when we get a name for it. So I will put those up, but again, the way I'm going to have to do it is do it so that hi Doris, do it so that it literally, will people can the tops will be there and people tell me what bottoms they want. And I can get my hands on sparkle yarn. I will not use this color sparkle yarn. That one is totally strictly for Blessed to Crochet. Yep. But I can get this sparkle yarn in a lighter purple, but I won't use this color purple. But I can do the sparkle, which I think is really cool. Sparkle came out really, really cool. But the purple one's pretty. But this one's going to Chow. So these are going out to some of the content creators. But we're gonna put them up for $21.95 on the merch store. So I'm excited. My daughter is getting her own merch store. I talked to her yesterday. I'm like, you want a merch store? I haven't gone checked out her channel. We're kind of revamping her channel a little bit. Um, but anyway, she's changed it to Chrissy's cosplay wardrobe. So anyway, but if you didn't catch me on my other's keeper tonight, I was on there. I just got done with Devotion Tuesday, so I'm gonna do that one and load that one up. We have The Wind coming out tonight. So that'll run throughout the night. It won't have any comments available on it, but that'll run throughout the night. Um, trying to think. So that's what's happening. I'm probably going to do a little bit more intensive thing, but I just wanted to show you what I was talking about the other day, with the cupcake toppers. And as soon as Wendy comes up with a name for them, then I will put them up in the merch store. And I'll start loading up. The next one I want to load up was Scott's Music. is I Got You Covered, and then the next one I wanna load up, thank you. The next one I wanna load up is, Warmer in the Rain, which I didn't know was something that he did for my mom. That was pretty, that was pretty I got teary-eyed that that was actually written for my mom. She said, whenever he came around, just so much sunshine, and so, um, it was funny because I said to him, I said, "Oh, it's nice to see you. We love you. We've been thinking about you and being safe from the storm." Um, it was it was neat to talk to him. He sat there and he goes, um, you know, "Mary," he goes, I said at one point, he said, "I didn't even ever think that it would be on." Yeah, I saw it, Misha. I just haven't had a chance yet. Um, that anybody would hear my music, and I just sat there going, and I said to him, "You know what? Do you remember whose granddaughter I am?" And he goes, "Yeah." He said, he said, "Do you know whose granddaughter I am?" And he goes, "Yeah, I know. My grandmother was a tough girl." Um, but he said he was just like, "Use it. Do whatever you want with it. It's yours. Do it." Um, because he said, I will know that someone is going to hear my music, in this world, and it meant a lot to me to hear him talk. Um, and just go back, and he said, he just hearing that music again, going back to those memories. He said, I don't like, and I find that you hear that a lot about artists that don't like to listen to their own stuff. And he said, I didn't like to listen to my stuff because he said, um, I didn't like to listen to it, you know, because even it's like I didn't like to listen to my own music and my own things, and I was so critical about all that stuff. And so he said I didn't like to listen to it, but he said, "Boy, is it going to bring back memories to sit there and listen to it." And I just it was really special to talk to him and just let him know. And if I can make that happen for him, if I can let somebody, and I said, "Boy, Scott, your beginning, I got you covered, and I'm so proud of me is in the beginning and the end of my outro, and that'll never change because that'll be something that people are going to hear. They're going to hear what they didn't have an opportunity to hear, and they should have." So anyway, that was just a real special conversation. I'm glad I got to talk to him. He was all he did was I turned on my phone and I said, "Scott, you remember this?" And he was like, "Where did you get that?" And I'm like, "I got it from, I got it because I found the record." He said, "You have a record?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've got a record. It's actually in Colorado right now, but I have a record." So he wanted to thank all of you tremendously for your just your inspiring words, that you're enjoying the music. The birthday song was actually a song he did and wrote for his mother. That's her song, the birthday wishes song. And he said that when he was making that album, if anybody knows the song MacArthur Park, which is like a 7-minute long song, um, there were several people that were upset that he didn't do MacArthur Park, and be able to do it on the record. And he said, "Yeah, if I'd done MacArthur Park on the record, it would have taken up the entire record." I'm like, "Yeah, there would have been no other thing." Thank you, Misha. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, we all are at this channel is sitting at 2150 in watch hours. So close to 3,000. So close. It's so close you can just taste it. Anybody has an opportunity to watch stuff that they haven't watched before, please go do it. Every part of that helps tremendously. But we literally are only 850 away from that 3,000. That would be I know I'm getting there. I know I'm getting there. I am going to find a time to do a live with my daughter, and I'm going to start putting it in the videos. Now, I did a devotion Tuesday, and I'm going to be a little not selfish, but just a request of asking everybody that has any kind of social media. At the very end of that live, I took a moment to ask those that wanted to share my aunt's GoFundMe page for her on their social media if they're not able to donate to be able to help her. They could do that for me. And I asked for a special prayer for her. They have found 2 additional spots on her lung. They have also put within her paperwork, depending on this upcoming PET scan, that most likely they're going to recommend her to stop chemo. Thank you, Anthony. Sandy Wendy is going to name them for me, and then they're going to be in the merch store. Um, I don't want her to suffer. I want her to go out of this world as painlessly as possible. She's in a lot of pain right now. And I'm just going to ask those that feel led, that can and want to donate to help her just with her basic expenses. Because I think very shortly, she's working right now. I don't know how she's working. I don't think that that's going to be something she can do. A friend of hers has said if it gets to, where she's having trouble, keeping the place she's living, that she can go live with them, which I'm grateful for that, you know, immensely. Um, but I think there's going to be a time when they're going to stop chemo. I think sooner than expected, with the growth on the 2 spots additional on her lungs. So I did a little bit of just just putting that in for people that if all they can do is just spread her GoFundMe page, um, I would really appreciate that if all they could do is spread it. With that little bit of sad news, I consider it sad, but God's going to give her the strength to. And I did our devotion Tuesday was on never give up, and I thought, boy, that topic of the day. Um, my daughter, I'm going to have her on because she has finally listened to Mama, right? And she wants to. Hi, Sandy, the namer of our cupcake. Um, she has wanted to become a dog trainer. And the cost of becoming a dog trainer is about $7,000. She can go through the program that she has to go through, that she can go through with the place she's employed to right now. But it is a cost. So she wanted me to start a GoFundMe account page, which I did. And she also has a channel, and she has some merch stuff on there that are sweet. Alfonso, if you guys need any logo help, go to Alfonso. He does an awesome job. Uh, um, but anyway, she can come on and talk about her love for dogs. And I'm like myself, I'm just going to keep going and making that dream come true. And even if it takes a while to get there, it's fine. But I want to really encourage her to, and I think that everybody else encouraging her that she can do this because she doesn't feel as if she can. And I think that's really important sometimes is that we need to be remind ourselves that sometimes we need encouragement when we feel as if we're kind of downtrodden and we're not going to do this and we're not going to make it and what have you, that we need to realize we can do it, but we need the support and sometimes the encouragement of other people to help us get there. And so that's what I think would be really helpful. So I'm not trying to ask any um, used to train police dogs. But you know, I I I don't want to ask people for money. That's not the point of it. Those that want to contribute can. Those that want to buy stuff from her merch store as we get it up and running, those can. Those that just want to support her and let her know that she can do anything she sets her mind to. If you don't know the power of just that in itself, of letting people, somebody know, hey, you've got this, you can do this. Don't let anything stop you. And I said that to Alfonso today as I was talking to him. I said, Alfonso, if you're anything, you're an encouragement to other people. That even though you're legally blind, you're doing things like he went through college. He's doing work or graphic work. He's playing the piano and other instruments. He's not allowing his disability to stop him from doing stuff. He says he totally enjoys the music and totally enjoys doing the graphics and stuff. He's not allowing that to stop him. Scott didn't allow his disability to stop him from playing music. He didn't say, well, I'm blind. I can't read a note. I'm going to stop. No, he had a talent and a gift for it. Um, I can't think to myself, I didn't let my I kept going with crochet. Now I'm going to say this. Those people that do wonderful amigurumis, y'all are the bombs. You guys do awesome. This is not my forte. My forte, of course, is blankets. It's what I gravitate towards. But I've worked on this a little bit. I don't think I'm doing a half bad job of this, but it's taken a little bit of practice. Do I want to start down the road of amigurumi toys? No. I did that Sun Bunny. I was lovely to do, but it's not something I totally want to enjoy doing. I love the blankets, but I have kind of made myself work on this, knowing that everybody that does do an order of these, that does place an order for one of these, is going to get something that's not perfect, right? It's handmade. It's not going to be perfect. I mean, Tommy's is it's it's a little funky, right? If you notice it, I did as best I could, but it's it's not perfect. Maybe a little wonky, it's a little bit, right? It's not going to be perfect, right? But it's made with lots of love and it's made handmade. And I think we forget the power of just polyfill. That's all it's stuffed with. But, it's not perfect. It's kind of a little wonky like he is. But and you're exactly right, Misha. She's spot on. She goes, that's what makes it perfect. Is it's not perfect. And that's what I used to tell people. It's like this one. It's not going to, they're going to be different and unique. They're not, all of them are going to be perfect. God knows we don't want them to be perfect. Um, but imperfectly, perfectly perfect. But they're done with lots of love. And that's what I'm trying to say is when you don't think you can do something, you gotta just say, I'm not gonna allow myself to give up. I'm gonna do it. Like I could have done this one and said, this is the first one. I'll do it. I'll just use this one. But I wasn't happy with this one. Do I look at the new revision and go, I'm happy with this? Yeah, this will suit. This is a heck of a lot better. Is it perfect? Far from it. But don't stop from keeping at it. Whatever you're doing, you may not be perfect at it, you know? But if you look at my first attempt, right, to my next attempt, this is a heck of a lot better. But it was trial and error. We have trials and errors. We're not going to be perfect. None of us are going to be. But don't allow disabilities to stop you. So I want to have her on and talk about what her goals are, and talk about the dog training that she wants to do. She eventually wants to work with kind of the underdog. She wants to work with the pit bull breeds, and people can have their say about pit bulls, but she has a love and a connection with the dogs that have been given the a life of hard knocks. Those ones that kind of were the underdogs, and you know that's what she loves to work with. I've recently spoke with someone who is 3 times bestseller author, knits for a large nonprofit. She did something, we both laughed. I thanked her for it and said, "Also me to be okay too." Well, we have to go through it, go through trial and error every day. I think it's what makes life fun. Absolutely. Makes it fun. Like Albert Einstein says, if you don't try something, if you don't try it, you're never going to make a mistake and you're never going to know anything. Won't be any different. Um, you got to try. Somebody that hasn't tried has never tried something new. So, you know, but anyway, I will be putting that up, that GoFundMe page for my daughter. Those that feel led to either share it, like my aunts, and donate. Those that just want to encourage her, um, I would tremendously appreciate it. I just think everybody needs sometimes a little bit of encouragement, and that's kind of what we're all here for. Thank you all for showing up tonight. This was just a pop-up live, and I'm gonna cry a little bit. I was really down in the dumpster last week, um, and I kind of was coming on, and I'm like, "You know what? It just felt like everything was stale a little bit, and you all coming in tonight, just chatting, it's just given me a nice little boost, and I needed it." Yeah, feels so good to overcome challenges. It does. Absolutely. Um, I I'll listen, amigurumis will never be something that I'm gonna run to. Blankets will be something that I will always run to. I have a very big love for them because I think when you give somebody a blanket, you're literally wrapping them in love. And that's the way I feel. And I do good with blankets. I really enjoy the do working with blankets. And so you can thank Miss Sandy Wandy for me putting the cupcakes in the merch store. And then, of course, adding the booties. So these will be added. Um, these are going to be one and done because I'll put it the amount of quantity I have of them in the merch store. But hopefully, y'all can hear me. I got to do something with my mic again. But these will be put up, and then that way, anybody's looking for a baby gift, a great way to. Can you all hear me? Did my there we go. Hopefully you can hear me. Somehow with my mic for a minute. But then you all, if you're interested, you can you can order them. I just figured out. Yeah. And that's why I want to do the blessing boxes too, because I want people, those that would like to, that can't afford yarn, that would like to have yarn and do a blessing, do a blanket and be able to donate it someplace that's going to go to like somebody like Anthony, that meant a lot to them when they were, homeless. And that's why I want to do it. That's why I want to be able to provide those blessing boxes for people. And hi Mona. But anyway, I will put these up too. These are the camouflage style ones. They're cute. Can we all realize that our feet used to be this tiny? Do we realize this? Do we realize that the feet used to be this tiny? These little tiny feet. Can't believe it. Used to be that tiny. Where did time go, right? Tired? Ugh. Anyway, the feet used to be that tiny. So let me ask your opinion since I've got 13 people in here. We're thinking about charging $21.95 for the cupcakes plus shipping. Do you think that's too much? The soap savers, I'm going to reduce them to $5.95 for the soap caddy. But the supplies for this take about $5-6 plus the time. So if you think $21.95 is a good price, and then for these, because they take a little bit more work, and I usually put like you have inside of here, you have one of these little like foam things. Um, we were gonna do these with the little scratch mitts that go on the hands too, and we were gonna do these for $34.95. So let me know. Let us know if you think yeah. I don't want to. I'm not looking to. Those are fair prices. That's what I thought. I mean, with the yeah, I just want people to think a little bit more about passing things down. If you're thinking about doing a baby gift for somebody, just think ordering something like this means they get this, they use it on their baby. I know as a mom, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to hold on to it. And then when they have children, guess what? They're going to be able to hand it to them and say, "You wore this as a baby." I know I had a dress when I was growing up. I probably still do someplace. And it's a dress. When I was born, my dad, we back then didn't have gender reveal parties. And he didn't know I was a girl. So the minute he found out I was a girl, he literally ran to the nearest store to buy me a dress. Well, it was a little bit too big. And I have a picture of Christina wearing the same dress that I wore leaving the hospital because my dad was so proud that he went out and bought me a dress, pink dress, because I was a girl. And I was a long time going. Okay. Okay. That's a good thought. Okay. I will debate on it and see. Both of those are good ideas. But a we got Kristen giving us the psychological part of it. But he went out, and then when Christina was born, I put the same dress on her that my dad had run out to get. So if we think more generation stuff, if we think that stuff that we buy can be passed down from one to the other, it's we realize that the heritage comes in that. If you have something and then you pass it down to your child, and then your child gets it and they pass it down, to their children, it becomes part of heritage. I can't touch it, but my we have a blanket from my great grandmother that's like 100 years old. It's wool. Maybe one of these times I can pass it on to a grandchild that can touch wool, but I can't. But it's something that's going to be passed down. It came from Scotland, and it's something that's going to be passed down. And I think sometimes, especially for like those baby gifts and stuff like that, I think that we forget that, you know, the importance of getting something that can be passed down from generation to generation. So something to think about. But at least you'll know it'll be in there. And I'm excited to just put them in there for y'all. I've got some extra leftover. Um, when we had a recent baby in the family, they got camouflage booties. I actually modified that pattern recently, and this cupcake is modified from the original pattern I got it from, because it was a pattern that was all in one, but it didn't work all as one. That was for sure, because the tops just blended in. But maybe y'all want to take a bet to see how how much this would actually get destroyed within minutes with Mocha playing it with it. But I'm gonna keep it, y'all. I'm gonna keep it. So I'm gonna get off here because I know it's late. I got to Devotion Tuesday late, but I got her done. So I'm gonna get off here and um get Devotion Tuesday loaded up, and then I'm gonna roll right into wind. I've got to get that going. So I know I had wind scheduled for 11 o'clock, but it's probably be 11:30 before I can get it up. But we'll get that wind up. Yes. Yeah. I agree. I agree. I think the merch store is cool, and I think it is. And then of course we've got the you all like the we before we go real quick. You like the we got you covered theme. We got you covered, and on the back it's gonna say stay connected. I think it's gonna be really cool. We got you covered, right? And that's the truth. We got you covered. Thank you all. Again, the stream for the win does not do any comments. It just runs as a live throughout the night, and I will be putting that up within the next probably about 10-15 minutes. So that will run. But if you could just go to those when you do, if you do come on them, just go on them and give them the thumbs up. I would appreciate that. And again, we're 850 away from 3,000 watch hours. Any help with playlists would be, or help with anything would be tremendously appreciated. And I will probably be back on, see, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe on Thursday. We'll give it a try. We'll get back into the swing of things. The swing. All right. And everybody have a good night. If you haven't checked it out, oops, go check out our merch store. And again, I will in the Devotion Tuesday, if you haven't you have an opportunity, in there will be the GoFundMe link for my aunt. If anybody feels led, they can donate if they wish, or they can at least go and spread it on their social media. I would greatly appreciate that. And I know when that time does come, I'm going to have a lot of help and a lot of support and a lot of comfort. And I appreciate that tremendously. Nobody suffers in silence, right? And Sandy Wanny, we're waiting for that name. Take as long as you need, hon. But I thank you for it. We will talk to you all later. Have a great night. Have a great night. And I will talk to you later. Take care. And Misha, that other playlist doesn't matter if anybody plays that over on the other channel that I put in the link for my other's keeper. That one is just for yeah, we got each other covered. I love the logo or the graphic for the shirt. It's going on a shirt. That's just for everybody in the lifeboat that needs all of the ripples in one playlist. This is a Minnesota goodbye, and I'm not even from Minnesota, right? That all that other playlist is just for the purposes of everybody being able to go to one channel, find the ripples of the lifeboat, and I have to still add more channels, and then that way I think that's going to be easiest way for everybody to find all the ripples versus trying to go all over the place. And if that channel ever gets monetized, it's great. If it doesn't, that's fine. I want this channel monetized. Alrighty, I'm gonna get off here. Have a good night, everybody. Stay connected. And that's our theme, right? Stay connected and we got you covered, right? Here's a little bit of Scott on his way out. He wants me to make sure you all know thank you very much. And he is thrilled somebody else beside himself is listening to his music. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Stay connected, y'all. And enjoy the wind coming up. Bye bye.